Only 2 tickets remain in the semifinal of the NCAA 2025 National Men's Volleyball Championship. Welcome in, everybody, to ESPN Plus to the Covelli Center in Columbus, Ohio. My name's Luke Williams, and joined alongside me is the one and only Gabe Eaker. It's the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. What are you thinking?
Both teams have a lot of wins as of late, Luke. For Fort Valley State, they won the SIAC against Edward Waters 3-1. And then on the other side, Long Beach State had to sit with a loss a little bit after losing to Hawaii in the Big West Championship game 1-3. They're still the #1 team in this tournament, but they definitely want some vengeance.
They want the vengeance, they want the run back, and they are one of the most stacked rosters in all of this tournament. Fort Valley State are going to be battling uphill all day today, but this feels like a David versus Goliath matchup, and guess what? David won that with a stone to the face.
Fort Valley State, second in NCAA for lowest opponent hitting percentage at 185, so that's definitely something we're going to want to lean on. It's going to be really tough against Long Beach State, who is top 5 in so many categories in terms of the NCAA, but you know what? We've seen crazier things happen, Luke, and Fort Valley State, I'm sure they are going to give it their all.
And if they can find a win here, they could put themselves on the easiest path in seeding towards a national championship. We've got matches here on Thursday. We'll have follow-up matches in the semis on Saturday and then crown a champion on Monday. The winner of this matchup goes on to play the winner of our final matchup, the 4-5 between Pepperdine and Loyola Chicago.
There's going to be multiple great matches here on Saturday as well, but you know what? It starts here today for both of these squads. One of them is a champion, one of them is ranked #1 in the country. These are matchups you love to see.
And this is what I love to see. Fort Valley is bringing in one of the greatest huddles we have ever seen here on ESPN Plus. That's what you want, the energy. Bring it to this stadium here in the Covelli, at home in their own stadium of the Health and Physical Education Complex. The Fort Valley State Wildcats 11-3 through the season.
Yeah, they're scorching hot right now, and they kind of made me want to run in there in the huddle too to join them.
It is definitely spreadable joy here, as it's going to be a fun one. First to 3 set victories as per usual. If we go all 5, we'll still be playing that 15 count set instead of the 25 that we'll start out with. Fort Valley State as well, you talk about coming into this matchup, they've got a brothership at the coaching helm. Head coach Larry Rather and assistant coach Edward Rather.
Rather in his 4th season at the helm of Fort Valley State and had a lot of success in that short period of time.
Just around the .500 mark, 49-53 on the overall record, but has put Fort Valley on the map. This is the 2nd straight appearance for the Wildcats in the NCAA tournament. They lost in the first round last time. They're 0-1, but they could change that here today.
Back-to-back appearances, too, for Fort Valley State. And like you said, Luke, trying to put their name on the map. And, you know, it starts with a competitive match against the #1 team in the country. You don't get a better chance than that.
Staple your claim. This is it. Champions win here. Let's play some volleyball. Fort Valley State will start with the serve of O'Shane Farquharson. Farquharson gets it up and over to the green shoes, and backline swing. Quick switch up from Monty Nikolov.
Nikolov just bursting onto the scene as a true freshman. You see why right there.
And he is 1 assist away from 1,000 on the season. Up to the line, McRaven gets it open over cleanly. Pass to the front line, it's the 2-side blocker defense and a point for the Beach.
You can already see the Fort Valley State bench already getting hyped up too, trying to get their starters to feed off of that energy.
McRaven, the 6'5 senior, only 1 ace on the season, gets it over cleanly, the green line offense. And again, they find the out-of-tempo play. Beach is up by 3.
Already seen Nikolov a few times, and first in the NCAA in terms of aces percent with .94, another part of his game that he plays so well.
He also, this season, has set the single season record for aces. Another good defensive play here for the Beach, and he's at 94 aces on the season. And by the way, there's a record at bay. An Ohio State player in 2018 set the NCAA aces record with 14. That's an Ohio State player. He could steal it in Ohio State's home. Off the serve, off the net, a service error. So we'll go 4-1. Nikolov, we talked about the ace master, and we speak him into existence. The 6'8" freshman, by the way. Slaps it over too far for the error.
We've already seen it a few times today, but some of the lower seeded teams really benefiting from service errors from the top teams, and we saw it again at Fort Valley State there.
You can't have overconfidence. Every team here is a good one. Popped over. Lietz sent back. Immediate point given and quickly crunched away by Kentev.
Although Long Beach State had the first few points, Fort Valley State still staying in this, now clawing their way back.
Looks like a good little switchback. Again, Lietz gets it over. Popped up high in the right side offense. Starting to find it. Punch over 2, backline carries it. The Beach in control, pop over 3. All of a sudden the Wildcats, chance to tie. Blocker catches it. Beautiful job bringing the juice, and off a blocker sent in by Isaiah Fed.
Fed had a few good swings there on that rally, and it's really tough to get clean looks against this front line for Long Beach State, but Isaiah Fed was able to there.
And when you're talking about the SIAC Player of the Year, he'll be able to do that. Up and over nicely here. Slammed down, and quickly Long Beach respond.
That time it was by Ben Braun, and actually an Ohio State transfer, so he probably feels right at home here in the Cavelli Center.
Actually a couple Ohio State transfers from the Beach. 5-4 here. The Beach extend their lead, long serve there, and point given off the error from Varga.
And the last thing you want to do if you're Long Beach State is to give this bench and give their fans a reason to step into this game even more than they already are.
Starts 5-5. Tavian Martin. The junior cleanly over, almost a free ball, but slammed out of tempo. The right side from Dickinson scores.
Well, Long Beach State, a team with a ton of depth, as we already see a few subs, and also they just hit the ball so hard, and they're finding the right spots in the zones that Fort Valley State's giving them.
Ben Braun, the junior. Nice and clean, but again attacking those 2 defenders. They'll call it inside off a hand. And a beautiful, again, challenge back from the Wildcats.
That is a perfect hit right next to the line.
Talking about who they want to send to the line here. It is going to be Isaiah Fed again. Leads the team with 40 aces. That is incredible. Slapped over, and they'll call it out.
Thought we were about to see number 41 for a second there, Luke. Just barely a little too much on that.
So the lead re-extended for the Beach. Nato Dickinson. Up and over. Popped well, battled to our cameraman. Sent over 2 and received from the Beach. They played off of Varga. Swung right and kept alive. Will get a whistle. They'll say it touched the ground, and the Beach will extend the lead to 2.
Thought we were about to see a really good dig right there, but it looks like it touched the ground right next to Long Beach, or Fort Valley State's hands.
Long Beach plus 68 in set margin this season. Looking to extend that even further. Swing around, short touch is just barely going to be missed by Rashawn White. Right.
Well, and what's tough in Fort Valley State's position is you got to play perfect. You can't make a whole lot of mistakes because on the other side, Long Beach State, team that has a lot more size, and also they don't make a whole lot of mistakes.
Top in the nation in a lot of different categories. Top 5 in most of them, too. Shot there is good. And what a point earned from Isaiah Fed.
That had so much speed on it. I don't know how anyone could have reacted to that. Just a really strong kill.
He's rapidly approaching 350 points on the season. Just a shuffle over. Chuck to the right side, long shot. We'll see if they call it off a hand. They won't.
So far, both teams really just locked in together.
Staying close like we have through a lot of our series today. Rashawn Wright, the senior, gets it over, but again, that switch touch. Monty Nikolov is so good at that single move.
And it's so important to have a setter that's able to make plays like that. We've seen it a few times today as well from Hawaii and also UCLA, but it's another good thing to have in your back pocket.
Alex Kandev, one of the many Bulgarian players on the team. Over cleanly, it's a free ball. Slammed down again, and it's Nikolov who slices and dices.
Nikolov also AVCA All-American first team as a true freshman. His brother, Alex, a legend for Long Beach State as well.
I mean, Big West Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year. He's got all the awards. Wildcats up over 2. Ooh, received off the pancake and then some chocolate chips added on top, but it's too far, too sweet, and the Wildcats score back.
Wildcats on that defensive set, smooth like butter, Luke.
Farquharson, the senior, wants to get it done. Pops it over. Turnaround, 1-2, kept alive Wildcats. Played at the net well. Farquharson sets up a good pass. It's going to be back the other way. Nikolov set up for the teammate. Too high into the sky. And they'll call it off a hand still.
Looks pretty close to me, and Long Beach State now extending their lead a little bit.
Holding the reins so far. Darius McRaven, only one ace on the season. Won't get one here. Going at the line, good battle. Hands over the net, but no touch. Again, they go. But the Wildcats are getting chances to attack. Sending over for free. Nikolov, fake up, slam down inside the lines. No, it's gonna be out.
Long Beach State on that had some good blocks, but weren't able to set up for offense in the right way to get a good and accurate swing off.
Everybody's to double digits. Jackson Hicks, the All-SIAC second team member, flies it over against the double defense, and then a reversal somehow kept alive at the judges table. They will call it out.
That swing caught Fed off guard and wasn't able to get his hands up in the right spot in time, so it led to a little bit of disarray on Fort Valley State's side.
That's what's Long Beach State has been doing all season long, causing disarray. Nikolov, the ace master, sends it high to the Cavelli rafters. Punched over. Nikolov deals well, sends an ace over to their teammate. But a handful of cards the other way, power and off the back line. A score from the Wildcats.
The Wildcats right now getting some really nice looks on the offensive side.
I mean, they've limited their overall errors, only 2 in combination, 2 at the line, 2 at the net. Up top here from Raheem Thomas. Nikolov sets, and it's a fake. And a slam down, but a net violation.
A few of these mistakes have really been hurting the Beach early on here.
It's not just about today, as we said. If you're thinking about moving on, you've got to limit those all weekend long. Raheem Thomas re-enters. Set up again to that right side, and those fakes have caught him off guard. And Skylar Varga kills it away.
Well, another thing to add on to what you said earlier, Luke, is that there's no guarantee in these tournaments. You really got to bring your A game if you want to take down any one of these 8 teams.
Got to be wary. Varga heads to the line. Up top here, another right side pass, one-on-one at the line, kept alive by the double touch of Dickinson. Dickinson goes back to the attack, and he'll score.
That time there, the tips were too much for Fort Valley State.
So we'll head to our media timeout here on ESPN+. Don't go too far. We'll be right back with the remainder of set 1. Welcome back, everybody, to ESPN Plus and our coverage of the 2025 NCAA National Collegiate Men's Volleyball Championship. It's a 15-12 lead from Long Beach State over Fort Valley State. And we are set for the Beaches serve. Dealt well again the right side. Heavenly from Varga. Popped over, swung on. Nice touch there by Kandev at the line. But the three blockers do it again. Backward save, and somehow that one just ricocheted through a couple. It's a Wildcat point.
Hit Larson, then Varga, and Nikolov wasn't ready for those bounces, and he said it was on him afterwards. That would have been a really tough play to make either way.
Tavian Martin, a 6'9 junior out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. Over cleanly, there's a nice 1-2. Is it too high? Yes, it is.
And a few errors now for Long Beach State in this first set, keeping Fort Valley State really close with them right now.
Only trailing by one here. And the sparkling red shoes of Tavian Martin will go back to the line. Nicely over. Here's Nikolov, set up slam. 1-2 combo of him and Braun is deadly.
And we'll see if Long Beach State tries to get more of her offense really close up front off of maybe this first or second hit, just to kind of keep Fort Valley State on her toes a little bit. Seems like it's been working so far when it's on.
Service line specialist Georgie Benev is brought in. 70s on the season, not one here though. That right side attack bounces off a blocker. They'll give the point to the Wildcats.
That's just incredible by Isaiah Fed. He had two guys with hands up and still powered it through both of them for the kill.
They've got some power. This Wildcat team is ready to play. And Fed says, you know what, I'm keeping the ball. I'm heading to the line. Punches over. Here's Nikolov. Set up, right side again, and what a slam down. They'll call it an attack and error.
And Long Beach State now up to 7 attacking errors so far.
Fed will stay at the line. The Florida native sends it too high for a service error.
The other thing to point out, brought up Long Beach State's attacking errors. Fort Valley State's sitting at 2 so far.
They've been playing a clean game. Up top here for Dickinson. Slammed over. That's a free ball back to the beach. Nikolov with the power gets the kill.
It's really tough for the Wildcats to match the size that Long Beach State has up front. We saw it right there with Maya Nikolov standing in at 6'10".
And we'll go to a timeout here. Fort Valley State wants to talk things over, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on ESPN Plus.
We were all looking for something.
The Beach leading the Wildcats 18-16, about 2/3 of the way through set number 1 here on ESPN Plus. Ado Dickinson over to the line off the left side right hand. Ooh, quick little touch there. At the line though, it's punched and it's sent from McRaven.
McRaven, the Honolulu native, splitting the defense with that one.
His mother actually played in the junior national team back in Japan. Dickinson will head back to the line. Winning by 3. A little bit of a miscommunication, but kept alive. Slam at the net from Hicks. And here's Nikolov, who has to drop to the ground, but dropping it inside is Kandev.
He just split another link up between 2 defenders for Fort Valley State, and we've now seen back-to-back instances of that.
Dickinson actually has a brother who plays volleyball at USC. Gets it over. Nicely faked. Right side setup from Martin. They'll give the point to the Beach.
Just a little too strong there on the attacking error.
Dickinson's back. He's just been able to pitch up a tent here on the service line. Camp out. Gets it over. No ace just yet. Fake up, 3 blockers down, kept alive. Wildcats need to use their third touch wisely, and they do. Sent high, fake low. A beautiful two-handed fake sets up the beach for another point.
That ball went about halfway between the floor and the ceiling of the Cavelli Center. That's how hard that was hit.
Just a beautiful, anybody can score type of play. The defense not able to react in time. 22-16, still Dickinson at the line. Oh, shot there towards the back line. On the right here, Long Beach State are gonna touch the net and just kind of give it over for free.
I was wondering what was happening there, and I realized it was a little bit of a delayed call, and Long Beach State knew that there was going to be an infraction on that.
A couple of those errors coming through. This is exactly what the Wildcats need. Right, up and over. Nikolov, trade back and low play, couldn't get it over for Dickinson. But they're gonna call it a net violation again.
And ever since the break where Fort Valley State called that timeout, Long Beach State has just been on a big run.
You wonder if you used that last time out here. As Alex Kantev, freshman, one of the many from Bulgaria as we mentioned. Plays it towards the middle. Sent wide over the libero and nobody can grab it. It's gonna be an ace for Kantev, his 20th of the season.
It's going to be Long Beach State's first service ace today.
And Kantev has a chance to send set number 1 their way. Kantev over cleanly. Too high though, error. And Fort Valley State needs to go perfect for 6 points in a row.
It's going to be tough going on a run against Long Beach State like that, Luke.
They're a tough team to gather a lot of points against. Farquharson. Nicely dealt. Nikolov right back to that right side, pulled in 3 blockers free. Farquharson again. Right side fake touch. Is it still alive? Yes. Nikolov. Slammed down, no. Still alive off the libero. Played up top, right towards us, and too far out. Got there as they catch Larson slipping.
How about that sprawling effort, though, from the freshman libero Larson, going way out of play to try to keep the ball alive.
The effort today has been immaculate. As again, Farquharson slams it in. Nikolov looking for that right side, and no! It's the defense from Martin that sets up the Wildcats to 20.
Just like that, you can feel the energy even more as you sit on the bench there, Luke. Fort Valley State trying to come back.
They're feeling it. 2 in a row so far. Farquharson. Nikolov deals nicely. Right side slammer, no. Did he touch the net? They're gonna say continue play. Farquharson set up, shot there, and it's point off a hand again. Wildcats are on a run.
The Beach got to regroup here, Luke.
That's exactly what they will do. Timeout, Long Beach State. We'll take a timeout too. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on ESPN+.
For you, it's more
Now or never for the Wildcats of Fort Valley State as a 24-21 scoreline looms over the horizon. Farquharson will send back from the line. Up and over off the timeout. Nikolov, trade off, 2 blockers do their job. Nikolov can't finish off the set, and it's popped quickly. Larson, 1, 2, 3 play, finds its marker. The soft spot is opened up, and the Beach have found their first set.
And even with quite a few errors on Long Beach State side, still able to overcome that and get some quality kills like we saw just here.
A beautiful ender there from Nito Dickinson, and that will be the Beach earning the early lead here in Cavelli. Still lots more volleyball to play though. We're gonna take a short break here on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere. Set 2 is after this break. The number 1 seeded Long Beach State leads here on ESPN+, 1-0 in set count. My name is Luke Williams, still joined alongside Gabe Beaker and our entire student crew here today. It was a clean first set from the Wildcats of Fort Valley State, but they just didn't have as many chances on the attacking side.
Well, one thing they did do well is that they limited Long Beach State to a .263 hitting percentage. On the season, their average is almost at 400. We know that coming in that the Wildcats had that advantage, so they're executing on that front, but they need someone else other than Fed to get going. He had 8 of the 9 kills in the first set for the Wildcats.
And the good news is they have one of, if not the deepest bench in the entire tournament with how many transfers they've racked up, how many total overall players they've got. And we are set up for a set number 2. We'll swap the sides up, as once again the Fort Valley State Wildcat bench is just having some fun. Set up for the service is Alex Candev. Here's the send-off. Up and over, service error.
There are 3 service errors from the beach in that first set, so we'll see if they try to clean it up here.
One of those was from Candev, and that's the second one of his day. Parker Harson up to the line. A 1-point lead. Sends off. Nikolov setting for the big booming shot of Nato Dickinson.
Dickinson, the senior opposite, with a nice strike on the ground there.
He's going to tie the kill leadership on the team with his own teammate of Nikolov with 6. Up high, sent down low. Played from Martin. Free ball. Beach will take it off of Nikolov, and off that right side, Varga, who finds a way to earn the kill.
Varga, an all Big West first team member, and also an All-American first team for the AVCA, showing why with another kill.
University of Saskatchewan. Got that one in. Nice little jumping effort by Fed. Right side play, Nikolov got the reach off the 6'8" body.
Really does feel right now like the Beach are bringing in the waves.
The waves will actually be here in the next match, Pepperdine. But I get what you're saying. They're bringing in the salt, bringing in the heat, and that one's going to be another point for said Beach.
Other side for Wildcats. Got to withstand the current.
Swimming their way to a 4-1 deficit. McRaven. That's nicely over off of Fed. Right side from Martin. Ooh, dances the tightrope. Double duel, fake off, and Nikolov can't quite yoink it.
It really is about how you respond in situations like these for the Wildcats, still within striking distance.
15th appearance all-time here for the Beach in the tournament. Sent over from Hicks. Quick slam down, the defense wasn't there, and Fed takes advantage.
I said Fort Valley State needed other players to get kills, but maybe not the case. Fed's just been lights out so far with his 9th now.
And their bench has been even better. The celebrations have been awesome. Hicks, beautiful little serve. Nikolov, set up, right side, and the back line handles it. Off the libero once again, a kill down, not enough from Fed. Quick touch the other way. Varga couldn't kill it, Ken Fed. He doesn't get it either. Nikolov, back to Varga, back to the defense. Varga. Off the libero again, Nikolov looks for the kill and he'll find it.
And those are points that you hate giving up if you're the team on the other end of those. A really great rally where both teams had to make difficult plays and had good defensive sets, but one team has to get the point and the other can't.
When you've got a guy like Nikolov who has surpassed 1,000 career assists, season assists here in this game as just a freshman, who's also looking for the ace, and he'll find it! A dagger delivered by the freshman.
not only as a true freshman is he above 1,000 assists now, but he's also leading the team in kills today.
I mean, he set the single season NCAA record for aces. What more can't this guy do? One ace already. Slammed down and dealt for the second. Here's a fake touch and then a pop-up. That third touch just didn't fall from Hicks as he really wanted to get a different touch on that one.
You got to find a way to try to get the ball back over the net with Nikolov back at the line serving.
The 9-time national champion with Bulgaria. And the greenest shoes imaginable. Nikolov up and over. They're going to call it an error on the service, stepping too forward on the line.
Well, the Wildcats got some help there because it looked like another service ace was about to happen from Nikolov.
He was ready to fire it. Raheem Thompson, graduate 6'2", opposite hitter. Up and over off the double, though. That front line dig from Ben Braun is good enough for the score.
Braun with 4 kills now today.
That's pretty good. Varga's back to the line, splitting the wealth of kills really well across this team. It's a service error. (8-5), 3-point lead for the Beach. Tavian Martin. Well, SIAC first team clears it over for the service error.
And the bench of the Wildcats there after that service error, it seemed like they were posing for the camera.
They're ready to go. The limelight not too strong. Up and over, dealt from Hicks. Sent back off the 2 blockers, and, well, Fed is going to earn his point.
That came off of an attempted block from Dickinson and McRaven.
10 kills now for Fed as, excuse me, that'll go down as attacking error instead. Ooh, a little swing around. The dose of the own medicine, double blockers are good enough. And the Wildcats earn the point.
Yeah, that one, Rashawn Wright, and also Parkerson, both on that block, making it able to happen.
Again and again, this defense has showed up. Isaiah Fed will head to the line. 2 errors, no aces today. Slings that one up high, and then a big right-handed dig will send it back to the side of the Wildcats. They almost give it over for free. Third touch is free over the other way. Off of Larson. Third touch in, and it's a scoring one from Cantev.
And that was a difficult one for the Wildcats. You had to get the ball over, kind of floated it, and set up Long Beach State's offense that's just been so effective this season.
You talk about a team that is hitting at a .396 entering today with a 13.26 kills per set margin. Both those top 2 in the nation. Long clear will be a service error just by a few centimeters.
Service errors have been haunting the Beach.
Serving for the Wildcats, number 14, Rayshawn Wright.
So Rayshawn Wright will head in. Off the center, sends it cleanly. Larson deals, Nikolov right side and off the blocker and out of bounds courtesy of Alex Cantev.
That hit percentage has slowly been climbing for the Beach, up to 280 now on the day.
Cantev, a member of the Bulgarian national team, U19. Punches it over. Deal. Backside. Off the libero Larson. A 1-3 blocker play that's saved away. Quarson sends it over to Martin, who earns his kill.
And the bench is throwing fists everywhere, knocking down everybody.
Oh, I love it. I love it. They're fired up. They're here to play, here to stay. Farco Arson will go to the line. Almost steps on the front line there. but instead it's over top. Off of Onoye there, and then bounces around for a little bit. Nikolov in the trade-off. Backline can't handle the speed from McRaven.
Tried to just get a hand on that to try to save that attack, but just weren't able to there.
13-8. Both teams with still 2 timeouts left to go. Got a little bit of a wipe up going on here. And it will be up to the service line, Connor Bloom for Long Beach State. The redshirt junior out of Huntington Beach, California. 10 aces on the season so far.
He's really played everywhere too. He's played opposite, middle blocker, and outside hitter now.
And what can he do here? The 6'5" framework headed down the main line. Gets it to the net for a service error.
It's going to be Long Beach State's 8th service error today.
Just need to limit those mistakes going forward. You don't want to allow a team like the Wildcats to get back in this one. Jackson Hicks, the 6'3" senior opposite. Skies it over, back-to-back service errors.
Yeah, that's the one thing that you don't want to do if you are Fort Valley State is to return the favor in terms of errors. You got to get some good kills, and I know it's easier said than done.
It definitely is. I don't envy the position. Monty Nikolov looks for another dagger. A skying power ball. Farquhar Harson to his man, and it looks like Thomas just couldn't get it over the net. So we'll head into our media timeout here, 15-9. Don't you change that channel. We'll be right back here on ESPN+.
Home.
The second all-time meeting here between Fort Valley State and Long Beach State is trending towards the Beach's way. They lead 15-9 here in set number 2. And Nikolov will head back to the line again. 1 ace, 2 errors for the man from Bulgaria. Nikolov goes short, saved away. Farquhar Harson slams it down off the 1-2 of Jackson Hicks.
They're finally able to answer back from Nikolov on that back line.
Interestingly enough, the matchup earlier this year was a 19-25, 17-25, and 20-25. It was a 3-0, but it was a close one. Kiari Mitchell, a 6'2" junior, first time at the line. Sends Larson kind of awry, but a good touch there from Braun will get the point.
We've called Braun's names in some really important moments and helping Long Beach State extend this lead.
Braun, the tallest man on that team, 6'11". Skylar Varga. Nice little backline touch there. Farquhar Harson back to the right side. Fed can't do it. How about the second time? No, the top tape will limit it.
And that windup was crazy strong, almost cleared the net, just wasn't able to for Fed. And another thing to bring up is that only 3 players on Fort Valley State right now have kills. Fed has 9, and then Hicks has 2, Martin has 1, and that's it.
And you're kind of single-dimensional. It's tough to deal with, and it's a 7-point lead here as the Beach start to extend. You wonder for the Wildcats if they want to call a timeout soon or just let the boys play. Vargo head back to the line, the team leader in kills and points. Slams one. Up top there off the libero, and then off a blocker. Raining money for Davian Martin.
That's a strong strike right there from a junior middle blocker.
And he will immediately take himself to the line. Ready to go. Some claps on from the bench. Plays it short. Larson back to Nikolov. It's a quick 1-2 punch that Braun hits right to the jaw.
It seems like twice now pretty quickly is that Braun has just striked right back after a point from the Wildcats.
And so good at using their quickness. I mean, their passes have been phenomenal. Georgi Benev will head back to the line, the 6'4" sophomore opposite hitter. At Avama, Bulgaria will go for the service error.
seems like the Wildcats are making some substitutions back and forth now.
Got a really, really deep bench. Both teams really do. Isaiah Fed is in. And he's got power, a little bit too much there for the error.
Yeah, that's going to go down as the 6th service error now for the Wildcats.
It's a tough one to give away. Trailing by 7. The Beach's Nato Dickinson steps back. Dices one to the net, and the third-degree black belt can't get it done.
Long Beach State, team that were runner-ups last year in this national championship, and a team that's definitely won titles in the past, has a lot of big prestige, big reason why they're #1 in the country.
They're just so very good at everything. Right side miss there, rare mistake from Dickinson.
Just went over his head there.
Back to the outside here for Mohamed Babei, the junior. He sends it over nicely, and they'll call that a service error.
We've seen a few more of those here in the second set from Fort Valley State.
Gotta limit those. Gotta find a way to just lock things down here, trailing by 6. Both teams with still 2 timeouts, though. Dane Hills is going to go in for the service substitution. The redshirt junior out of San Clemente, California. Punches one in. This one off of Brown. Right side, inside the blockers, kept alive. Vargas sends for free. Brown up top, a huge jumping shot from Isaiah Fed.
And so many of those setups lead to Fed able to get power swings there, and he's now hit double-digit kills, currently leads both teams with 10.
Jakaris Brown, the graduate student, will head to the line after being subbed in recently in this set. 4 aces on the season, and he will not add another. That's an error.
Wildcats find themselves in a familiar situation as the first set, where Long Beach State has a pretty big lead and got to play almost perfect from here on out.
You do have a couple of those timeouts, and they're going to use one of them here. Fort Valley State will talk it over, and so will we, but not that you guys get to listen to. We're going to take a short break here on ESPN Plus, and we'll be right back on the other side. Fort Valley State trying to mount a comeback against the #1 seeded Long Beach State crew. And it will be Darius McRaven to the line. Gets it over cleanly. Anoye sent back to Brown over to the top side of the blockers, and Hicks can't clear it.
Long Beach State basketball and volleyball teams both play at the Pyramid. It seems like they have some special powers that they brought over to Columbus.
Most interesting sport venues. Up top here for Brown. Sends it over and will get a whistle. Point Beach.
The Beach now not too far away from 25 and would really start to put the pressure on the Wildcats in the third set.
On a 1-game losing streak. They want to change that here as the #1 seed. McRaven ready to send off. The Orange Coast College transfer back from the 22-23 season. Dealt up by Martin. Slam down from Isaiah Fed.
Fed now with 11 kills, and we're still only in the second set.
Oh, revving up the lawnmowers of Marty Boyd, #10. I love it. Jackson Hicks. Pops one to the net, service error. And now set point here for the Beach. They've already won the first one 25-21. A win here would put them up by 2 and even closer to a spot in the semifinals. We're going to take a short break as the Wildcats take their final timeout. We'll be back after this on ESPN Plus.
Rated M for mature.
Here on out in set number 2. Nikolov. Looking for the set. He won't get it just yet. Punch down, that will do it though. Skylar Varga ends it out, and the Beach are headed to a 2-0 advantage.
That's Varga's 3rd kill of the game in Long Beach State. It seems like farther and farther we get along in this match, we seem to find their footing more and more.
The dodge away from the front line, and the back line not there in time. A better set number 2 for the Beach as they look to pull out the brooms and move on to one of our final 2 remaining spots in the semifinals. We're going to take a short break here on ESPN. Plus, on the other side of it is set number 3. The number 1 seeded Beach looks to take their way to the semifinals in sweeping fashion after winning the first 2 sets against Fort Valley State. My name is Luke Williams, still Gabe Beaker alongside me, and partner, it's been a good one, and the Wildcats have played a relatively clean game, but they're going to need some more points here in this next one if they want to get it done.
Not only that, but now, Luke, the pressure's really on. They have to win 3 sets in a row against the number 1 team in the country. It's going to be a tough mountain to climb. Should I say beach to crawl on?
Oh.
Maybe?
Yeah. I agree.
Not sure if there's a better way to put that, but.
Well, either way, it's not an easy job, and it'll be Farco Harson who will try and start it out, the team leader in assists.
It's like running on sand.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Or running in quicksand would be even worse. Quicksand is what the Wildcats are falling in right now. Their back line recovers, but will get a whistle. Point to the Beach.
We'll see how the Wildcats respond. They've been cooled off a little bit by the Beach, scoring 5 fewer points from sets 1 to 2.
No libero setup here for the Beach. Popped over or not. Service error from McRaven. Jackson Hicks back set up and ready to go as the bench still turned up as ever. The 6'3" senior gets it over, and they'll call it just barely out. Service error.
It's a pair of errors now, starting set number 3, and really sets the table now for Long Beach State's best server.
They have put the silverware out, they've put the plates, and Nikolov is ready to eat. Looking to extend the lead by 2. Slam down, service error, we're tied up.
Appetizer denied right there. Gives the ball right back to Fort Valley State.
Raheem Thomas will try himself to put out some food on the table here for the Wildcats to feast on. Gets it over just barely. Nikolov set up, slam down again. That 1-6 combo has been nuts today.
It really has been, and Ben Braun leaving the tip with that kill.
If you thought 1,000 assists was where Nikolov was going to stop, no. That's his 20th on the game. Fall down, that's an ace.
And in the serving game, we've said this already, but the Beach have really found their stride.
He's already set the record. He's just building on his own record. The rest of the team trying to follow in his footsteps of those service aces. Varga looks to go back to back. Not quite this time. Jump up fake in top from the 3 blockers. Left up on that right side, and too much heat there from Martin.
And another attack error there from the Wildcats. Still 3 players to record a kill for Fort Valley State.
Varga's back again. Kind of slaps that one over, touches the tape. And a quick shot there from Isaiah Fed.
Fed really found the island in the ocean there, spiking it down hard.
Ring around the rosy. Their turn on it for Fort Valley State. Davian Martin. Up and over. Dealt off of Larson. Nikolov again. So good at assisting out. Challenging the two blockers. Wildcats keep another strike there. Isaiah Fed back-to-back kills.
Quick and with efficiency. Isaiah Fed with 13th kill now.
He's a superstar. Davian Martin staying at the line. He's going to get it far and away, and a service error will come through.
It's really important for Fort Valley State to not let the game get away from them too much and keep it close. Still within 2.
Ben Braun, member of the Fab 50 in high school. Quick turnaround there. Up high, over 2, kept alive by Onoye. Other way, Onoye can't get to it this time. And the Beach are starting to go in a run.
Let's see when Wildcats might choose to use for timeouts. We've seen Dickinson and McRaven combine on some of these blocks already today, and we saw another one right there.
So good at just working well together. Cohesion, more important than having stars on your team. Braun is going to go to the line here. 0 aces, 0 errors on the line today. We've got a great towel crew. Been working overtime.
They really have 4 games at the end of this day for them.
Braun's shot is up and over. Marco Harson deals, and how about this? Touching the tape. They'll whistle it, and it's going to be an overrule from the head ref, and they're going to call it a Wildcat point.
Can see some of the confusion from the Beach as well. Talking to the officials now is Skylar Vargo.
Vargo will have a check. A little bit of a thumbs up. And it's going to be a quick challenge. Long Beach State says, you can call what you want, but we're going to get a second look at it.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, look at the swing there from Martin. Tough call.
Initially, again, 2 different referees called 2 different things. So what you're really looking for is something to turn this over. And we are, even in a timeout, dancing our hearts out from the Wildcats.
Well, my thinking is, Luke, isn't this when you should be discussing strategy for your next dances? They already have another one pulled out. They just come up with these so quickly.
You think the playbook is deep for the Fort Valley State Wildcats? Just wait until you see the dance playbook.
I'm sure that's one they don't want to share with anyone else.
Can't give those away. Isaiah Fed. It's been dastardly. Nikolov sets up. Nikolov has to get back to it. Can't dev. Denied, and point for Wildcats.
Right there, Mabaye and Farkerson able to block that down.
Isaiah Fed back to the line again. Fed 3 errors so far, no aces. Nikolov. Again, the setup is good, and the hit is even better from Dickinson.
Nice swing, and Dickinson now tied for second on the team in kills with 7.
They've really just shared the wealth. It's a good showing here. The Beach lead by 2. They send Dickinson. Barely over the tape. Marco Harson up top over 3 blockers. It trails across. Varga, Nikolov punches it with his palm. Back up top here off the pass. Long touch there. Onoye recovered it, and the slam down is good enough. The defense holds strong, and a long volley goes the Beach's way.
I want to say the set was a little bit behind where Fed may have wanted it, so it kind of came off at an awkward angle.
Just those small things, they start to pile up here. And it's the #1 seeded Long Beach State crew. Nato Dickinson Off the palm, back center. Up top there. Baye tried it, and he'll score off it.
Looks like the bench is running up the stairs now and striking a pose once more.
Those are audience members. I don't know what you're talking about. Those aren't Wildcats. Now they're Wildcats. Up and over. Bay. Oh, big slam down, pops right back towards the beach's way. Nikolov, and a punch from Darius McRaven.
McRaven, a guy who was all Big West first team and an AVCA All-American second team. One of the premier middle blockers in men's volleyball.
Ken Dev might not be hitting at a great percentage, minus 200, but has one ace here today. No second one, but it pops back right to him, and they'll call it an ace.
Sometimes you just got to bring it into the air for it to transpire.
A huge little backward shot there, and that just goes to show you the power all the way around. Here's another long one, and the error followed by the ace.
Up to 13 service errors on the day. Fort Valley State with 11.
Back up to Farquharson, outside hitter from Hollywood, Florida. Trails it out. That one, we got a good view as it falls out of bounds.
We certainly did, and these points are really starting to pile up for Long Beach State. Still a 4-point game, but it seems like they've really been in control in this set.
They've been in the driver's seat for the most of this series as well. Nice little touch off two blockers. Nikolov sets up for the third touch. A punch is no good. And the blocking from Tavian Martin is good enough.
SIC all first team Tavian Martin there with that block.
Stretching out just a little bit, Isaiah Fed. And honestly, just that one-on-one, so often the defense at the disadvantage makes an advantageous play. Nikolov again dealing cards, dealing aces, and it's gonna be Dickinson that sends one into the ground.
Dickinson at 6'7", has so much more size than what Fort Valley State has, and able to just reach over and get it to a spot where they can't block it.
European Championship bronze medalist, Nikolov to the line. Huge slam, and he's gonna step on the line again.
You can see the look of discontent on his face now. 2 points given to the Wildcats off of that.
He's very good at hitting the power, but often wants the extra distance to do it. Raheem Thomas, nicely over actually. Nikolov again, just the 1-2 combo. He can get it to anybody, and Dickinson is one of his top targets today.
Nikolov setting up Dickinson perfectly, and although Dickinson passed him in kills with 9 now, still 23 assists for the freshman setter.
And that's important too, just a freshman. This is a young team. Varga slams one in. They'll call it an error. And interestingly enough, I mean, you talk about associate head coach Nick McRae. He's had 2 back-to-back #1 recruiting classes in volleyball.
Service substitution for the Wildcats, chipping in #1, Kyrie Mitchell.
In Fort Valley, they recruit dancers as much as they are great volleyball players. They've got some style in their celebrations. Nikolov, back off the slam, goes right to our table, and off a blocker for a Long Beach point. So we'll get our media timeout here, 15-11. The Wildcats looking to trail their way back in. We'll take a short break here on ESPN Plus, and we'll be right back.
Hey.
And here in set 3, as Long Beach State leads the Fort Valley State Wildcats. It's a good one so far, but the Wildcats are going to need some life here if they want to keep dancing.
Certainly are, but still have 2 timeouts to play with, and still within striking distance here in set number 3.
That was just the media timeout, not either team's timeout. So really, yes, both teams have control of their own destiny here. Sebastiano Sani clears one high for the service error. Sani getting subbed out, but actually his mom played for St. Cloud Volleyball in Paris. He was waiting for the chest bump to get fully subbed out.
They still need to work on their dances a little bit, Luke, compared to the Wildcats.
Isaiah Fed dances one over the tape and over the edge line. That's a service error.
Yeah, that one just hit way too far to the outside.
Under 10 points to go. Long Beach State looking to find their way into a semifinal. Up inside here. A touch over from Fed, and they'll call it an error, so going to be a point towards the beach.
Both teams now even in terms of attacking errors, both with 12 apiece.
Trailing by 5 here. Nato Dickinson for Long Beach State. Nicely over, dealt from Fed. Hands it off, free over. Nikolov back to number 12. And Kantev scores it off the blockers. So we'll get a quick timeout here from the Wildcats. They want to talk things over and try and limit the damage. We'll be back on ESPN Plus in just a snap. Here on ESPN Plus with Luke Williams and Gabe Eaker for an 18-12 set 3 matchup. Long Beach State leading by 6. Now call it a service error from Nato Dickinson.
And if Long Beach State does advance in this tournament, we said this earlier with other teams that advanced also, got to clean up the service errors.
That can be a thing that loses you a national championship. Up top here from Bay, and a slam down the other way. It'll be called an attacking error. McRaven couldn't get it over.
And now 2 consecutive points for the Wildcats, showing some life.
I mean, out of the timeout, that's what you love to see. Rolling the ball back over, and looks like they'll actually send Jonathan Matthews off the service substitution, the sophomore out of Valley Stream, New York. We'll go for a little basketball bounce, and then sends it. Nikolov again, waiting with patience. The right side offense scores off of Dickinson.
Matthews, one who just served, one of the guys that's been engineering some of these bench celebrations too. Getting some time to shine with that serve right there. But Long Beach State, man, they are so good at attacking the defense.
Just found a tiny little soft spot. Georgi Benev. 1 error off of 2 attempts. This time it's clean. Inside the 2 blockers and out of bounds. It's going to be point for the Wildcats off of Hicks.
Split the pole right there.
Trailing by 4. Wildcats want to dance here. Shane Farquharson, the SIAC Setter of the Year. Slams it over. Nikolov, another just beautiful set, deletes the back line after Dickinson gets his charge up.
Really feels like poetry here. The setups are perfect, and then the smackdowns for the kills have also been here in sets 2 and 3 for Long Beach State.
They are the #1 team for a reason, and they look to expand to the semifinals. Here's a nice play from Dane Hills. A punch back to the back line. Hills will keep it alive. Kondev has to free it over. Anoye back to the right side, and that one from Fed will be a point.
That's exactly what they wanted there, getting Long Beach State out of position. Fed able to get the kill.
We'll see if they want to go for a few subs as they bring back in libero Kellen Larson on the side of Long Beach State.
Looks like we missed the mosh pit on the bench of Fort Valley State too.
Nikolov trying to mosh them down. The diving effort, not enough. The Penguin slide results in a point for Long Beach State.
The location, especially in this set, once the ball is in play, Long Beach State has just capitalized time and time again.
And again, Nikolov chasing Ohio State opposite hitter Jake Haynes in the record for NCAA aces. 1 today, 4 as a team. Slams it in, no ace this time, but it's a freebie. Nikolov's back to the front line and sets up a beautiful little 1-2. Going to the net, that's gonna be a little bit of a net violation, and up by 6 now.
Fed with that block attempt too, just came in an awkward angle after that.
Wildcats are going to take their final time out here. They need to do something about this lead. We're gonna take a short break here on ESPN+. Get yourself a little drink, and we'll be right back after this. We're back here on ESPN Plus with Long Beach State searching for a bid to the semifinals. Monty Nikolov, the freshman, multi-accolade winner, gets it over. They'll call it an ace, the second of the day.
Nikolov with really nice serves that make the defense go out of position and really tough to get to just in general.
He can go for power, he can go for those corners, or he can just find that one inside. 23-16. Nikolov looks to go back-to-back as he drops it low, and he'll get the back-to-back. Nikolov sets up the beach on series point.
You saw the dive there from Fed, also giving his full effort, just not able to get under it. Perfect placement from Nikolov.
And is this Salve buy their ticket to the semifinals? Is it Nikolov with 3 aces in a row to bury it? Not just yet. Back to the line, defense. Ricochets it back to Larson. Nikolov up top quickly, dropping out of bounds there. They'll give him the point. They'll give him the match. Long Beach State is headed to the semifinals with a date with destiny on Saturday.